Hello everyone. In continuing the series of the Good Vibes and Good Life written by Wax King, today we will read the first chapter of the part 1. In the last video we have completed the introduction of the part 1. Today we will read the chapter of the part 1 and its name is There is Something Missing from the Law of Attraction. So let's begin. For the law of attraction to work, you have to think positively. However, it is difficult to stay positive all the time. When things go wrong in life or they don't quite turn out how we expect, it is hard to remain optimistic. Most people saw me as a positive individual. When things got hard, I was far from it. Anger had always got the better of me. Sometimes external events would create so much rage within me that I would want to wreck everything in sight. As a result, I had entered a downward spiral. I fluctuated constantly from highs to extreme lows. I was like two different people. These inconsistencies were projected onto my life. I would go through some really good periods and then experience really bad ones. During the bad times, it was impossible to see the bright side of things. I tended to give in and take out my frustrations on the world by smashing up furniture, speaking rudely to others, and moaning about how terrible it was to live in the world. During my last year of university, I experienced a massive setback in a group project that counted for a significant percentage of my final grade. When my group became divided over how much of a contribution people were making, I tried to be optimistic about it and expected it to work out in the end, but it didn't. It got really messy. It suddenly seemed clear that the law of attraction did not always work. My group was completely divided, arguing constantly over our individual roles and how much effort each member was putting in. Just months before graduation, things got out of control and harsh words were exchanged. Unfortunately, there was no way to fix the issue. My friend Daryl and I felt that we were treated very unfairly, but there was not much we could do about it other than work 10 times harder with looming deadlines that seemed impossible to meet, especially on the top of the rest of our workload. We were convinced we would fail our assignments and exams and therefore be unable to graduate. It felt like we had wasted our entire time at university. I had gone to university because I felt like I had to. It was what you were supposed to do if you wanted a good job and a comfortable life, which I had not experienced during my childhood. But deep down, I did not really want to be there. I did not enjoy it. I always knew I would not end up in a traditional job. I was doing this for my mum more than anything. I had watched her struggle my whole life and wanted to show her it had not been in vain. Now that I was so close to the finish line, it was all going to be taken away from me. All I could think about was letting my mom down, letting myself down, and all the money wasted on a degree that I was going to fail. It was all for nothing. I was overcome by negative thoughts. I told my mom I was going to leave university as I had no reason to be there. I hated it and it was unfair what I was going through. My rage needed a scapegoat, so I blamed her for everything. Lovingly, she tried to convince me to stay and do the best I could, but in anger, I only argued with her even more. I was fed up with the endless problems and I wanted to leave everything behind. I had no reason to live and no purpose in life. My low state even led me to revisit some of my worst memories, which just added more fuel to the fire, convincing me that my life was worthless. What was the point in having dreams if I could never manifest them? I convinced myself, and I was living a lie and kidding myself that I could do big things. It seemed clear right then great things were never meant for me. So I trawled through employment websites and applied for a variety of jobs that looked fairly interesting and paid well, even though I was not qualified for them. I thought that I could land one. I would not seem like a complete failure and would at least have some money to help out my family with their debt, bills, and expenses, including my sister's weddings. In my covering letters, I explained that although I was underqualified, I would be the perfect employee. No one responded. Underneath it all, I knew I could not quit university when I had already come so far. I had expended so much energy trying to find a way out of the problem, but now it was time to face what had to be done and hope for the best. But first, I had my eldest sister's wedding to attend. This added more pressure. It meant that I had have to hand in an assignment earlier than everyone else and take time off university just 2 months before my final deadlines, which would set me back even more. Stubbornly, I told my family that I could not go to the wedding, even though I know I had forever regret missing such an important event. In the end, I did go, albeit reluctantly. And soon as I got there, something unexpected happened. I felt calm and relaxed. The wedding was in Goa, India, and it was beautiful. Everyone there was shining bright with happiness and love for my sister and her new husband. Honestly, at this point, I was not trying to feel positive. I was comfortable, feeling down, and feeling sorry for myself. And I wanted others to feel sorry for me too. But this new environment created a welcome shift in me. For the first time in ages, I felt grateful. I will always remember my sister's wedding, and it taught me a lot about how the universe operates. On my return home, the positive feelings stayed with me. I felt good and very calm about the chaos outside me, and my renewed steadiness motivated me to finish what needed to be done. I created a dummy scorecard that displayed the overall mark I would receive for my degree. I had stared at this for a few minutes each day while pretending that the impressive grade on the scorecard was real. I did not quite believe that I would achieve it, it was merely a desire, but I did believe that I would do well. Nonetheless, I made up my mind to go to the library every single day for hours on end. I put in the huge amount of extra work needed to complete the group assignment and more. During my breaks, I took time to chat with positive people who were able to make me feel good about myself. One of them was the woman I had eventually fallen in love with for life. When it came to exam time, handing in assignments and doing final year presentations, I was confident that I had done enough. As it turned out, I did not quite get the marks that were on my dummy scorecard, but I did pass comfortably. And I aced one of the hardest exams on my course, which came as a surprise. I went on to have similar successes by using the law of attraction, but overall, the results were hit and miss. I knew I was missing something when I found out what this was. I began to have more consistent success. I was able to test this on others to see if they had also benefit from my discovery, and they did. In fact, many of them were able to do things that had once seemed impossible. Not everything I have wanted has manifested. This has usually been a blessing in disguise. Too many times I have believed that I wanted and needed something, but it was for all the wrong reasons. Over the years, I have gained clarity and sighed with relief for not getting what I thought was surely meant for me. Often I have not got what wanted, only to find I have later been blessed with even more. So here the this chapter completes. So to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you and thanks for watching and listening this video. Thank you.